Okay, we're talking about choices and the power of choice in our lives. I want to walk you through the next part of this exercise. So if you didn't catch the first part of the video series, I highly recommend that you go back now. You're going to want to listen to the quick 3-minute snippet there and come back with a list of the places in your life where you feel like you have no choice but to do the things you do, be responsible for the things you're responsible for, that kind of thing. So once you have your list, come back. That's where we're starting today. Okay, what is it that you feel like you have no choice about? I want to ask you to look at your list in front of you now and pick one thing that we can do this exercise around. So it may include take care of my kids, take my kids to school, take my dog outside, pay my rent, show up for work every day, take a shower, cook dinner. Could be any number of things. Listen to my friends while they talk about their problems. Take care of my mom or drive someone to the doctor's office. Any number of things. Pick one. That's what we're going to go to work on. So, for instance, on my list of things that I have no choice about doing, paying my rent is one of those things, right? Got to pay my rent. So I'm going to use that as my example. Then I'm going to ask that you identify 3 thoughts that you have about this, okay? So when I think about paying my rent and the fact that I have no choice but to pay my rent, the first 3 thoughts that come to me about that are, no one else is going to do it. It's either pay my rent or get kicked out of my apartment. And I don't want to move, so no choice. Those are my first 3 thoughts. So you want to identify what are the thoughts you have about the thing or the place where you feel like you have no choice. That's step 1. So pause here, complete that. All right, now that you can see, these are the thoughts that I have about that. I want you to identify how you feel when you think those thoughts. So when I think no one else is going to do it, and it's either pay my rent or get kicked out of my place, and I don't want to move, so I really have no choice, I feel obligated and a little under pressure. Like it's like it's just me. Like I need to do it, and that's all there is to do, right? So there's a little sense of pressure and obligation that shows up. How do you feel when you think the thoughts you think about the area where you feel you have no choice? Then, once you've completed that, I want you to rank this feeling or this area on a scale of 1 to 10. So if 1 is like, oh, this feels really, really crappy, and 10 is, this feels pretty good. Or maybe 10 would actually be like, this feels really good. On a scale of how it feels, goodness-wise, I want you to give yourself a score. So for me, have to pay the rent, and no one else is going to do it, and all the things I think about it, and I feel somewhat pressured. I would say overall, that feeling is about a 4 for me in terms of how good it feels. Like I don't really love feeling obligated or under pressure. And at the same time, it could feel worse. So I'm going to give myself about a 4. How would you score yourself in that area? Okay, that's it. That's the work we're going to do today. Now, if you feel so inclined, you could go back to your list, pick 1 or 2 other areas, and do the same exercise. When we come back next time, we're going to talk about some specifics to shake this up and get a sense of choice and power back in our lives again. All right, look forward to seeing you then.